Okay, so get this. Have you ever, felt like your health is a bunch of totally separate pieces?
Separate pieces?
Yeah, like you've got that bum knee from, forever ago, and then you're prone to colds, but then, on top of it all, stress just throws everything out of whack.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Well, get ready, because today we're diving into something that completely changes how we see this osteopathy and its 5 models of health. You guys sent us Dr. Erik Gandino's work, and let me tell you, this is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, it's really interesting how these models help us move away from that. Like, body is a machine view. We're not robots, right?
Honestly.
Instead of looking at separate parts, osteopathy is all about how interconnected everything is.
Right. It's so much more than just cracking backs, you know?
Totally.
It's about understanding this whole symphony going on inside you 24/7. It's wild.
And that's what's so cool about Dr. Gandino's 5 models. They're like getting a backstage pass to that symphony.
I love that.
Yeah.
So no more mysterious aches and pains with zero explanation. We're going deep on this.
Exactly. So to start, the biomechanical model, this one focuses on, what you can actually feel, like muscles, joints, all that good stuff.
It's easy to think good posture fixes it all, but
it's way more complex than that.
Yeah, posture is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Huge piece, though.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But still just one piece.
Exactly. So think about this example from Dr. Gandino. Someone with one leg just slightly shorter than the other.
Okay, I've heard of this.
They might not even realize it's a thing, right?
Yeah.
But imagine walking around with that, even a tiny bit off, day after day after day.
Whoa, yeah. You'd be compensating without even knowing it.
Exactly. That's where the domino effect or the ripple effect comes in. Something so small can impact how your pelvis sits, your spine curves, even how your rib cage moves.
So wait, are you saying a leg length difference can impact, breathing?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, that's what I call interconnectedness.
Right. And then because how you breathe, that affects how much oxygen you're getting. It even impacts your nervous system. So then we're talking fatigue, headaches.
No way.
Even mood swings, all from this one tiny imbalance.
That is wild.
It is.
And that's why osteopathy is so cool. It's looking at the whole picture.
Exactly.
It's not just oh, your back hurts, take a pill. It's well, why does your back hurt? Is it how you're moving, how you're breathing even?
100%. It's about finding the root cause. And, addressing that root cause, that can have these crazy positive effects throughout your whole system. Which actually brings us to the next model, the respiratory circulatory one.
Oh, okay.
So think of your blood vessels like this intricate highway system.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And just like on a highway, you need those roads clear for traffic to flow, right?
Yeah.
This model is all about making sure oxygen and nutrients get to every single cell in your body.
Right.
And just as important, getting rid of the waste products.
Yeah, nobody likes a traffic jam, especially not inside our bodies.
Exactly.
So what happens if there are roadblocks, though?
Well, that's where you start to see fatigue, swelling. Even your organs can be affected over time if things aren't flowing properly.
You know what? This makes me think about that time I had that awful cold, and I could barely breathe through my nose. I was wiped.
Oh, totally.
Couldn't focus, just felt terrible.
That's a perfect example. When your respiratory system is struggling, your whole body feels it.
Wow.
It emphasizes how important this model is for literally everything. And when you think about how connected it is to the biomechanical model, how we're moving, our posture, it all affects our breathing. It's like this big aha moment.
It's amazing how important breathing is. We never really think about it.
Right. It's like this hidden web connecting everything in your body.
Totally. So what's next?
Well, that connection, it becomes even more clear when we look at the next model, the neurological model. Ever notice how your mood can actually physically affect you?
Oh, yeah. Like when I'm stressed, my shoulders get all tight.
Exactly. The neurological model really dives into that whole mind-body connection thing.
Right.
Your nervous system, it's like this control center, right?
Right.
But it doesn't exist in isolation.
Yeah.
It's affected by physical stuff, that leg length thing we're talking about, but also by mental and emotional stuff. Stress, big time.
So my stress level is just as important to my nervous system as I don't know, a pinched nerve or something.
Exactly. Think about it. Chronic pain, anxiety, even gut issues. Those can all be signs of a nervous system that's out of whack.
Oh.
And osteopathy seeks to address that. It's about recognizing that the nervous system, it's all tied in with everything else going on.
It's like our nervous system is the conductor of the orchestra, and if it's off, the whole symphony's messed up.
Love that analogy. And speaking of keeping things running smoothly, that takes us to our next model, the metabolic energetic one. It's way more than just calories in, calories out.
Okay, so what is it then?
This one's about how efficiently your metabolism's working, how well your body is actually using the nutrients you're giving it, fighting inflammation, all that. Basically how it makes and keeps energy going throughout the day.
So like if I'm always feeling drained, even if I'm, eating healthy and sleeping enough,
Yeah.
that could be a sign that something's off with this model.
It's definitely something to consider. And here's where we see, again, how all these models connect. Remember that leg length example?
Yeah.
We talked about how that can snowball into messed up posture, breathing problems, even mood swings, right?
Right.
Well, all that misalignment, it can actually overload your liver.
Really? Why the liver?
Because it's got to work overtime to compensate for all the imbalances.
Yeah.
And when your liver's overworked, it can't do its job as well.
Which is?
Detoxification, hormone regulation, energy production, all is part of the metabolic energetic model.
Wow. So it biases the domino effect.
Totally.
So working on my posture, like through the biomechanical model, that can actually help my energy levels too.
Exactly. It all comes back to that interconnectedness.
Wild.
And that leads us perfectly to the final model, the behavioral model. Now, this one might seem kind of obvious, but it's super important. This is where you come in, how aware you are of your own body and habits.
Okay, the behavioral model. So like making healthy choices, right? Eating our veggies, getting enough sleep, which is like important, but sometimes so hard.
True. Those things definitely matter, but this model, it goes deeper than that. It's about how our thoughts, emotions, how we deal with stress, it all directly impacts our physical health.
It's like acknowledging that our minds and bodies aren't separate. They're totally connected.
Exactly. Think about the last time you were stressed out. Did you get a headache? Upset stomach? Maybe your shoulders got tense without you even realizing it.
Oh, 100%. I always get this knot in my upper back every single time.
See, that is the behavioral model in action. Our bodies, they have a way of telling us when we're not managing stress. And it's not just in our heads either. It has a real physical impact.
It's crazy how our bodies are like, hey, pay attention to me. I'm stressed.
Right. And the cool thing is we're not powerless. We can actually choose to do things that help, like managing that stress.
Okay, yeah, I see why Dr. Gandino included this model for sure. It's like our choices make a difference.
100%.
So we've covered a lot, huh? We talked about the biomechanical model that's all about how we're moving, and the respiratory circulatory with the whole oxygen delivery system.
Like a highway.
Yes, exactly. Then there's the neurological, all about the nervous system, and the metabolic energetic, which that one's about energy, obviously.
Keeping things running.
Yes. And then the behavioral model, which reminds us it's all connected mind and body. It's kind of a lot to take in.
It is a lot. But when you see how it all fits together, it's pretty amazing.
Right. Like that word interconnected. You said it a bunch, but it's so true.
It's the heart of osteopathy, really.
Yeah.
Seeing the body as this whole system.
So it's not just treating symptoms. It's like optimizing everything. Yeah. Okay, so we keep coming back to this idea of a ripple effect. Like if we improve one thing, it helps everything else. Out of all these models, is there one area that you're like, this one's a game changer?
Ooh, that's a good question. And it's so individual, But if I had to pick one, I'd say breath.
Really? Even more than like diet and exercise and all that.
Think about it. Your breath, it's tied into every model we've talked about. The biomechanical model. How well you can breathe. That's directly affected by your alignment, your posture.
So even if I'm working on my posture, if I'm not breathing right, it's not doing as much.
Exactly. Then there's the respiratory circulatory model that's obvious, right?
Yeah.
You need your breath to get oxygen to your blood.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond that. It affects your blood pressure, even how your lymphatic system works. That's your body's cleaning system.
Right, got to keep that highway clear.
Exactly. And then the neurological model, deep breathing, that's been shown to actually calm down your nervous system. Less stress hormones, more relaxation.
Which then helps you sleep better, digest better. It
It
really is all connected.
And the metabolic energetic model, your breath affects that too. Helps your body use energy better, detoxify. Even your cells are healthier.
Wow. Okay, I'm convinced. Breathing is like this superpower we all have.
It is.
But what about the behavioral model? Where does that come in with breath?
This is where you have the power. When you practice mindful breathing, you're literally choosing to change how your body's working. You're calming yourself down. You can focus better.
It's like a mini meditation, but anytime, anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more you realize you can use your breath to manage everything, stress, your emotions,
That is so cool.
It is pretty amazing.
This has been so eye-opening. I never thought about breathing like this before.
It's a perfect example of how osteopathy is about so much more than just fixing what's broken. It's about understanding the whole amazing system that is your root.
Love that. So listeners, as we wrap up our deep dive into the 5 osteopathic models, we want to leave you with this. Just take a second today to notice your breath. Are you breathing deep down, or is it all up in your chest? Just that little bit of awareness, it can make a huge difference. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning,